this music goes with motorcycles and muscle cars and snowboarding and surfing and life. Anything that has that, you know, the passion of life. So, music and muscle cars.
But no, he has a rad old car.
Yeah, I have a 1966 GTO convertible. It's very beautiful.
So that's the only relation we have is to that, his car. That's it.
I call it the Blue Lemon. I lived in Hollywood, California for a couple of years, like when was that, 1999 through like 2002. And I'm sure I have a nice car, a muscle car, but I really don't know anything about cars. So I would take it to Silver Lake to get fixed. You know, I wouldn't know what was wrong with it. And when I brought the car in, every time the mechanic looked at me and he said this, every time, and it was all the time. He goes, "Easy money." And it didn't matter what was wrong with it. It always cost $600 US.
I was producing, our old drummer joined the band Godsmack, right? And I was producing Godsmack in 2009 or 10. And I was thinking about it like, wait a minute, you know, I can produce a record. iTunes is out there. We don't even need a label. So I told Shannon while we were doing the record, like, dude, we could make a record for free and stick it on iTunes. And then we just sell it and have total control of it, you know? And so then I called these guys and mentioned that too, and then everybody was like, that would be a great fucking idea. So we did it, and that was in, 2012 is when it started, you know. So that's how it started. The whole thing really got kicking off, and then Whit took it from there and is just a champion and manifested all this stuff, touring, and we did another one after that. So it's just been a blast, you know. It's rad, cool.
Probably life experience, right? Like when we were kids, we were 22-year-old kids and we got a record deal, and you know, we got to go tour with Ozzy and Motorhead, and we were kids and we drank beers and we wanted to do all the things you should do at 24. And that was a great experience, and in fact I think that's what you probably should do.
Yeah.
And everything we did you should do. And then the band stopped being a band probably late December of 96, and then we weren't a band for, I don't know, 16 years. So when we got back together, the difference would be everybody's life experience, I would think, like all the different things, you know, and of course the fact that, you know, Dave had left being a performing artist and he'd become this, you know, celebrated producer. So I guess experience and the intent's the same, to create. You know, it's good to be involved in any form of creation or inspiration or whatever it is, but, you know, very rarely does a band get to stop for 15 years. I thought this band would never get back together, personally. I was like, after 10 years, I was like, okay, maybe it would come back, but no one did it. So the fact that we got back together, we played our first show in London on June 6, 2012, and that whole tour was successful. And so we've been touring around the world for the last, I don't know, 5-6 years, and we've been able to have all these great musical experiences. And one of the experiences that's manifested is the fact that, you know, when we broke up as a band, it wasn't like we were angry with each other. No one felt it anymore, so we stopped. So that said, when it's like a divorce of some kind, or you know what I'm saying? We all missed each other, but, you know, I guess it was over. So for us to come back together, all of us, and be creative, which is what we're supposed to probably be doing together, and even tour together, there's a lot to be grateful for in that story, because you don't really get to do it again. You get to remember that, oh, it was fun, and it looks kind of like a weird dream that happened. But we've been able to have these experiences again. For me, personally, what the difference might be, as far as like the younger version of the band and this old version of the band, it's mature. But like for me, like, you know, I consider myself an artist in some form. And the thing about, I guess, business and art is it's a weird marriage. So when I was a kid, and there was the business, there was the labels, and they were all full of shit. But we wanted to be successful, so we kind of sold our soul to the devil a little bit. But I couldn't separate those two things. So it was like this big, uncomfortable thing. Now, as we're back and we're seasoned and we've lived through life and whatever, I can actually look at a business construct of what that means in like touring or making a record or whatever that is, but I can just leave it over here and I can celebrate it for what it is, but I can really keep the artistic process and the touring and like and performing and all that like this. So now what used to look like this one big globulous satanic force, I can separate church and state, or oil and water, which is cool.
If we record again?
Yeah.
Funny you say that, because Whit was just saying possibly an idea might be to do shut up, there we go. I got nothing. To do a covers EP or something like that was an idea. So it's strange you say that. It's very possible that might happen.
So strange you say that. That's Phil.
Strange you say that. That's going to be on the internet. He's going to see it. Sorry, dude. But you're the raddest guy ever. I love that guy.
Well, I guess it's an interesting question, and I support your question. But I guess the answer is like you kind of like whatever show for me anyway. Like whatever show it's of the moment. So I don't, I'm like right now I'm with you, doing this interview. So the show will kind of just show itself. No pun intended.
Yeah, the show will show itself in the show.
We're Ugly Kid Joe here. My name is Whit Crane. That's Dave Fortman. We're in Madrid, Spain.
Yeah.
I think it's, June 15th, 2017?
Probably.
And I don't think we played a show here in, I feel like it's 22 years. So we're excited to be back in Spain. We're grateful to be touring again, and come check it out.
Yeah, there you have it.
Hey, this is Whit Crane from Ugly Kid Joe.
And Dave Fortman from Ugly Kid Joe.
We are here
at
the Rock Palace,
man.
It's it's kind of a darker palace. It's not like some crystal fortress.
It's a palace.
It's
rock.
like it's not the unicorns here. There's more like what, like a wildebeest?
I would say a wildebeest would be correct.
So we are at the Rock Palace. We love it here. We're in Madrid, Spain. Yeah. It's June 15, 2017. We're grateful to be here with the wildebeest. Ickle.
Rule it.
Ickle.